Hello everyone, this is Skydie. Welcome to episode 3 of my Breath of the Wild playthrough, and you're probably wondering, Skylar, you wanted to get off of the plateau so badly in the last episode. Why are you back in the Shrine of Resurrection? And I have a very good answer to that question. There is a thing that we can get in here that doesn't appear until after we leave the plateau, and I think it's actually kind of funny, and it's a Korok that appears right here where we woke up, actually. So yeah, I think that's kind of interesting, and I wanted to make sure that we went back here to pick him up, just to start off today's episode. But yeah, guys, in today's episode, we're going to be making our way toward the Dueling Peaks. We might end up at the stable on the other side of the Dueling Peaks, but I definitely want to hit the tower before the Dueling Peaks, for sure. Okay, so now that we're on the top of this tower, we can start making our way toward that one. That is the one I definitely want to hit before this episode is over. And there's actually a quick, I'm gonna make a very brief detour to those ruins over there, because there is a quick little DLC collectible we can get that is actually pretty useful early game. I don't use it very much because I've gotten used to how combat works in this game for the most part. But I still want to collect this, just because it's actually a pretty cool item. And it is right over here in these ruins. You can literally collect it right after you get off of the plateau. Another quick little tip about these choo-choos that keep showing up, just use bombs to get rid of them. They're really not worth wasting your weapon durability on, because they die pretty easily. Anyway, this chest right here is the one. So we'll just pull it out of the ground there. And it is Majora's Mask. It's an eerie mask passed down from ancient times. Wearing it makes you harder for certain enemies to spot you. So basically, aside from it being just a really, really, really awesome collectible, if you've played Majora's Mask, which I haven't played it all the way through personally, but I still find this cool. Anyway, while you're wearing this, monsters will ignore you. They'll basically think that you are one of them. So if we go over to those guys real quick, I can demonstrate. Alright, so as you can see, we are literally right in the middle of this monster camp over here, and they're kind of just checking me out. They're not attacking me at all. Now, they will attack if I attack first. But a special little thing you can do with this is you can lure them into a spot where they will easily be destroyed. And I think we're going to go ahead and do that, because they're all going to run over there. And we could kind of just blow them up. And I don't even think they'll realize it was me. Okay, yeah, they will. Never mind. They realized that I did that. So I'm gonna quickly take care of these guys. Just like that. And I get an opal for all of my trouble. But yeah, I really just wanted to demonstrate how Majora's Mask would be helpful and why we went over here and got it. That's also the first rupee of this playthrough. This isn't like other Zelda games where you can just find rupees lying around. The only reason these are is because we blew up the boxes that were sitting right here. But anyway, yeah. I don't use this a whole lot practically because, again, like I've said, I've gotten pretty used to how the combat in this game works. So I don't think I necessarily have to use it. But again, I did want to demonstrate how it works. So now we are going to make our way over to that tower. And there's actually a shrine over this hill. So we're going to want to go get that. Looks like we got some moblins in the way. So we're probably going to take care of those guys actually just so we can collect their parts. Okay, well, that was very poor execution on my part. A little trick about moblins is that if you stand like right up against them, they can't really do a whole lot to you. You just kind of have to watch out for their kick because they will kick at you, and that can still hit you. But if you are right up against them, most of their attacks will just go right over your head, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that will work. Alright, so now that they're dealt with, we can finish going over here. It looks like we have a few more bokoblins to take care of. So let's just do that. Okay. Yeah, so they weren't too hard. Interesting little thing about those guys is how they were just like they just came at me with random crap. And I find that I found it kind of funny. Like one had a rusty sword, one had a broom, and one had a farming hoe. We've already gotten to the other side of that guy, so I think we're just gonna move on from him. But yeah, this is the shrine I wanted to go to. So let's get it done real quick. Alright, so this shrine in particular is actually kind of fun. I think they placed this one where they did strategically because at this point in the game, you're probably still new to how the paraglider works, and this shrine can actually teach you quite a bit about that. That whole mechanic, because you're gliding around the whole thing, obviously. So, am I gonna make that? Oh, just barely. And we got a pretty good greatsword. Good for this point in the game, definitely. So actually gonna drop that one because if I recall correctly, it's a little damaged, and this one is literally twice as good, so. Alright. And now we're just going up to the end there, and we'll be out of here. Alright, and now we can continue toward that tower there. There are a few different Koroks right here that we could get. And while I'm here, I would like to try to get some of them. So this one With these, if you find rocks lying around just kind of randomly like this, and a circle of kind of like spike looking rocks sticking out of nearby water, it's a Korok that you can try to get. So basically what you gotta do is you gotta chuck a rock into the hoop there, but sometimes it can be sort of challenging. My tip is to A, not fall in the water like I just did. That will not help you at all. Yeah, that will not help you at all. My tip, though, what I was going to say, is to use Cryonis to help. Sometimes you'll literally have to, but in this case we didn't, so that's good. And the second Korok that I wanted to get over here can actually be found on this bridge. But there is there's an NPC on here that I want to talk to because this dialogue is actually sort of interesting. This is actually the first human interaction Link has had in 100 years, I guess. For people that are alive, anyway. I may be somewhat used to seeing bad omens by now, but that, well, let's just say that it's badder than most. We're doomed. I mean, don't panic. Sorry, who are you? Have we met? Well, it doesn't matter who you are, really. I was getting tired of talking to myself, so you've come at a good time. By the by, those strange things that popped out of the ground, did you see them? I'm not talking about mushrooms here, I'm talking about those towers. They seem to have popped up all over the place. And that's not the only strange things that happened. These long deserted shrines suddenly started glowing. You know what this means, don't you? The end is here. With all this craziness happening, I've been keeping an eye on that thing. Just to see if it suddenly starts moving, you know. And, what thing? I'm talking about that Guardian, of course. Haven't you heard the old stories about Hyrule? See that thing over there? The one shaped like an overturned urn. That is what I'm talking about. Did you know some of them can move? One of them chased me down and tried to kill me. This one here. No, it was a different one. That one was closer to the castle, but before the forest. When they spot you, they shoot blue beams of light at you. And I was so sure that was the end for me. I was prepared for the worst. But I somehow managed to escape into the nearby woods. You think it was my lightning fast reflexes that saved me? I wish. The truth is, I just got lucky. Anyway, I hear guardians like that still wander around Hyrule Castle. Be careful. So yeah, a lot to unpack there. Hey, don't be rash. I'm young, but you're even younger. I'm trying my best out here, but I get the feeling you're going to end up trying even harder in this world. You have no idea. And that's the feeling I get when I look at your face, but maybe I'm nuts. Now calm down and climb off that rail. And don't climb down that way. Climb down this way. I'm not going to get off this rail. Because there's a Korok right here. Yay. And, the other Korok that was, that I was talking about earlier is actually over there. It's right there. So let's get over there, shall we? Alright, so with these Koroks, you basically just have to make the structures match. So this one has two little outcroppings. So you just put one right there where it's missing one. And then we have our Korok, which is great because I'm immediately being attacked by these guys, which is just awesome. Fortunately, they are pretty easy to take care of. They're just really annoying. They are really, really, really annoying. But up this path here, there are actually some ore deposits. which if you break them, they'll give you things like, worst case, rock salt, which can be used, I mean, it's salt, you cook with it. But worst case, it gives you that. You can get flint from these, amber from these. There's a very, very rare chance that from the black ones like this, you will get rare minerals like gems and stuff that are super valuable. It's a very rare chance that that will happen, but there are other ore types, and there is a rare ore type where you are more likely to get a rare drop. There is a shrine over there that I can see. So I'm going to... Actually, we're going to go to that one later. I'm not going to bother marking it because I know that we will get to it eventually. So, but yeah. Always a good idea to mark shrines. I know I'm saying that like right after I explicitly didn't do it. But, yeah, it is a good idea. Especially when, you don't really know where things are in this game. I do, because in my personal file, I'm currently working on a 100% completion of this game, actually. So I've been exploring this map pretty in depth lately. So I kind of already know where everything is. But yeah, I'm going to quickly pick up some other stuff. Just gonna leave that behind and pick that up. Okay, and now we're good to go. So we're just gonna keep heading in this general direction. So in this fallen log right here, there is actually a korok, and I would like to include it in this video because it's a type of korok that we haven't gotten yet. So basically, there's these flowers, and you have to follow them around. Let me quickly stop that before it kills me. You kind of have to follow them around, and after you get to the end of the trail of these flowers, you'll have your korok. And again, koroks will allow you to upgrade your inventory size later, so that's why we want them. Just as a recap. In the process of getting that korok, we picked up these blue nightshades. These are good because you can cook them into dishes to create stealth effect. Right here, there is another korok. Huge shocker. But yeah, it's super easy. Push the boulder in the hole, and we got one. So, in case you haven't picked up on it by now, these things are everywhere. If I remember correctly, there are 900 of them in this game. So quite a few. Quite a few little guys floating around places. I'm going to quickly dispatch these bozos. Oh crap. Get back here. So I can get in their chest. And there's a pretty good shield in there, so we are definitely gonna take that. Mine now. Alright, and now we can proceed. So that is the tower that I wanted to be at. There's one more korok we can get, and we can actually do so in the process of crossing this river. to get on the other side where the tower is. And I'm trying to. It's another one of the Koroks that make a flower trail for you to follow. And I'm trying to figure out where the flower is. Okay, so while looking for that flower, I came across this, and I'm glad I did. Not these mushrooms; these are basically stealth mushrooms. But I came across this breakable wall right here, and I'm glad I did because inside is one of those rare ore types I was talking about earlier. I mean, as well as a Korok. This is actually a Korok right here. So we can get some pretty valuable things out of these minerals right here if we just chuck a bomb. And it'll drop things like topaz and sapphires and rubies and very rare chance of it dropping diamonds as well. So yeah, glad I found that because I wasn't even thinking about it. But I cannot seem to find the dang flower that I was talking about, so we're probably just gonna head right over to the tower and worry about it later. Alright, so a little tip for crossing bodies of water while you have hardly any stamina is to just use Cryonis and just jump across the water instead of trying to swim, because you will use no stamina, and you will also, I mean, you're making the same trip, you're just doing it without exhausting yourself, basically. So, but anyway, this tower is going to work very similarly to the last one. It's just going to give us a map of this region, and the map that this one will give us is going to be much larger than the last one, because the last one was exclusively the Great Plateau, but this one covers a much larger region. And so yeah, you can see these border lines in the map here. This tower will uncover everything within this chunk that we're in right now. So we're going to get on top of this thing. Again, tip for operating on low stamina. These outcrops in the tower are there to help you. Use them. Just climb on them and let your stamina regenerate so you can keep going. If you try to climb the whole thing at once, obviously that won't work, and there's no guarantee that there will always be outcrops to catch you if you fall. So it's much better idea to just use them as they appear, so you don't have to worry about it. So as it is with shrines, with these towers, we can teleport to them whenever we want, which is actually super useful because you can glide off of the towers, obviously, and so you can cover a lot of distance that way. Just be mindful of your stamina when doing that. But yeah, now we have a bigger region of the map uncovered. And since this is our first tower outside of the Great Plateau, we also have the Sheikah sensor, which will detect shrines closest to us. I'm not going to use this because A, I already know where they are, and B, it's kind of annoying if you leave it on because it's just going to beep, and you will see that here in a second. Like that. It will just do that. when there's a shrine nearby. Again, I already know where they all are, so we're gonna turn that off. Alright, there is, in my opinion, a pretty important shrine in the Dueling Peaks, which, hey, we're at the Dueling Peaks, we did it. There is a pretty important shrine on this side of the Dueling Peaks. So, in the Dueling Peaks, there is a grand total of 3 shrines, 2 of which are pretty special, because they actually require information from each other to be completed. And I think they're the only shrines in the game that really do things that way. But this one, there's a piece of headgear in this one that will be really helpful, especially right now when we have only one stamina wheel total. So we are going to make sure that we grab it because it will allow us to climb faster. And we're going to be doing a lot of climbing in this game, obviously. So we're going to want to make sure that we grab that. But as for the shrine itself, it's pretty easy. It's not that hard to do. Basically just have to step on switches and time it right so that the ball ends up in the hole, because the ball in the hole is good. See that ball? See that hole? See how the ball's in the hole? The ball in the hole is good. Alright. So yeah, you'll kind of get what I'm talking about with that right there. Like if you mess it up like I just did, ball will not be in the hole. And the whole point is to get the ball in the hole. Come on, ball. Come on, ball. Get in the hole. Get in the hole, ball. Thanks, ball. But the gear I was talking about is in that chest. So, definitely want to make sure that we grab it. Yay, ball in the hole. First try. Now, to get to that chest, we are going to have to... Actually, I want to try something real quick, because the real way to do it is to get that switch pressed down by something, so that this ramp is up and you could just walk up to it. But I want to try to make this jump. I know I'm not going to be able to, but I want to try to anyway. Oh my god! Alright. Cool. But now we have the climber's bandana, and we're probably going to be using that quite a bit early game. So, this is definitely a shrine that's worth going to. So, let's grab the spirit orb from here and move on. Alright, so coming out of that shrine, there's a cracked wall right here. I don't know what's behind it, actually, so let's find out. It's a bow. Okay. It's slightly better than the one I have right now, so I guess we'll grab it. Okay. In the water right there are these really, really, really annoying enemies that will shoot rocks at you, and if you are close enough to them, you can parry the projectiles back at them, and it's a pretty easy way to take them out. But their aim is usually pretty dang good, like better than you would expect, which is why they're so annoying, and I hate them with a passion. Like, they will snipe you without fear, and they will not relent, and they will eat your lunch for breakfast. But yeah, we're gonna quickly take care of these guys, so I can get in their chest. Picked up his sword, which is pretty good. And now we get to find out what's in here. Early game, it's always just as a general rule, it's a good idea to be nosy and get into things. So there is a boomerang in there, which, yeah, I'll leave there. I'll leave it there. That tower, we will probably get to in the next episode, because this one is starting to run kind of long. So we're probably just going to do the shrine that's around this corner here, and then we're going to move on. I think we're going to ignore that building for now, honestly. We will be getting all up in there in the next episode, don't you worry. So yeah, we're going to do this shrine right here so we can always teleport to this area, and I think that's where I'm gonna leave this one. So yeah, there wasn't anything super duper major going on in this episode, but there were a few good things that we did, like getting that climber's bandana, getting Majora's Mask, and doing a couple shrines, and getting the tower. So we got some things done, which is good. And in the next episode, I would like to get some more things done, much like this episode, as well as get into Kakariko Village. I'm not even going to explain this shrine super in depth. I think it kind of speaks for itself here. That's not what I wanted to do. So, yeah, you basically just put ice in places where the ball can hit the ice, and then hence the ball can reach the hole, which is, need I remind you, is the point when there are balls and holes, is that the balls must reach the holes, because it is ordained as such. Alright, guys, and that will do it for this episode. I think editing this one is going to be pretty fun. So I should probably get right on that, actually. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Episode 4 will be coming out, hopefully not too long after this one does. Again, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to see more content like this, because more is on the way. So, take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.